one of the things about handmade guitars, I really believe the reason that they sound different than factory-made instruments and everything is the energy that you have to put into creating a neck. That when it's finished, it's different than a factory-carved neck. There's something about it that makes it, gives it just more life.
I think I'm very fortunate to be so geographically close to such a world-class builder. Well, oddly, I started off in college as an art major. Studied drawing mainly, and at some point I changed my direction and went into biological sciences. In the back of my mind somewhere I had an affection for art, and that later became an affection for music. So I've been playing as an amateur without formal training for, I guess, close to 40 years now. Self-taught, so I learned all my bad habits on my own.
But I played guitar in bands and stuff in my teenage years, and I always loved that. I guess my first notable name was one of my heroes from the early 60s, a band called The Ventures, and their lead guitar player, Noki Edwards, which he was one of my first major clients, which it started off in. And now, over the past years, I've been building for people like John Hyatt, songwriter John Hyatt, and Graham Nash of CSN, and David Crosby. Graham has written a couple of songs on my guitar. Jackson Browne is kind of in line right now on a guitar. It's supposed to have already been done, but it kind of got sidetracked.
And I had an opportunity to play one of Bob's instruments. It was actually on display at an art gallery as art. So I wanted to find out who this guy was, and I was quite impressed with the tone quality, the sound quality of, in that case, a parlor guitar, a very small instrument. And it sacrificed nothing to the much larger instruments that I have. You may see it has a tobacco leaf theme, and I've spent over 30 years now working in tobacco areas. And so I thought it was only appropriate that since tobacco had become such a part of my professional life, that it just seemed like a natural fit. Bob and I worked together and came up with the designs.
At the first, we discussed the sound and what we wanted. We selected the woods and everything, and Dan, he kept on this on the side of the colors and everything being close to organic colors.
Well, the fret markers here you see you may be able to see are small representations of tobacco leaves instead of a normal dot we see on most factory-made guitars. And up on the headstock here we have a large tobacco leaf image that I sketched, and Bob translated that into the inlay. I hark back to my old art training days, and I do sketch and doodle.
It really affirms that some of my theory was correct in that that a lot of folks want something beyond the thing you can walk into a music store and just buy that's made in quantities, and they want something that will aesthetically be different, but yet something that sound-wise will be beyond what you can find. That's the joy I get out of it, being able to see the expression on people's face when they hear these and say, I've never quite heard anything like that. When I'm trying to, it's like a songwriter, you know, if you ask most songwriters what's their favorite song, they'll probably tell you, well, the last one I wrote. So it's the last guitars that I've made. Dan's is one of my favorite guitars, and I was joyous about how it sounded at the end, because I mean, I think it's a pretty incredible sounding guitar.
and have over the years had a number of factory-made guitars, good quality guitars. But they're, having played one side by side with Bob's hand-built instruments, there, in my opinion, is just no comparison in terms of the tone and playability. And the quality of the craftsmanship speaks for itself. I have my eye on a harp guitar, but that'll be a major prize.
Actually, I'm starting a harp guitar on the next batch.